brighter than the sun. UFOs in the sky. UFOs in the sky. The lighting of the night. UFOs in the sky. I saw the lights. Lighting up the night. Yeah, I saw the lights. UFOs in the sky.
I'll be starting gaming soon. I just did something amazing this week. Something I thought I would never be able to do, but I did it. I totally remastered my first CD. Remixed and remastered. Thanks to the help of AI. And boy, I think it sounds pretty good.
Brighter than the sun, the lighting of the sky, the lighting of the night. I saw the light, lighting of the night. Yeah, I saw the light, the UFO in the sky. The night, brighter than the sun. There's UFOs in the sky. There's UFOs in the sky. There's UFOs in the sky. There's UFOs in the sky.
It'll be released to the networks on May the 31st, 2023. I'll tell you what I did here in a few minutes when I get started. Boy, I never thought I could do this. I tried it in 2009. Let's play another one from it. Here's one of my original demos. I went and split this thing up. I kid you not. Something that I thought would never do. I recorded this on a freaking karaoke. Years and years ago. I done it in 2 or 3 parts. I did the bass, the drums, and part of it outside. Well, I'm going to tell y'all something. When I broke the outside, at the vocal to the outside, you could hear the lawnmowers going. From 1993. The train went by. The train added the percussion to the song. I always thought it sounded kind of glorious. The train added its percussion. Anyway, here it is. It's Go from 1993, the very first thing I ever created. And I split it up. And I remastered it and remixed it. Back then, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I used chords. I didn't have a switchboard. You know, I didn't have a mixing board. I used chords and left and right channels. I split all the channels. That's something I couldn't do before AI. Here we go. I've been telling people that AI is a wonderful tool if used right. I tried to remaster this thing in 2009. I didn't like my results because most of it and all of it, those wasn't a part of the original. I didn't put the demos on the original album. I did put them on the remaster. But I took that remaster down immediately because I wasn't happy with its quality. Because I tell you, I pretty much just had to add effects to it. Like I could split the channels up and I could add effects to it, but I couldn't get the vocal. Because if you know anything about how I recorded the first time, I recorded on a 4-track tape recorder, and I mixed that down to a CDR. And I had hundreds of those CDRs, and they were just thrown anywhere after I was done with them. And I had no way of recapturing my vocal. But with the AI today, you can split vocals and music. And I was able to make total remixes and remasters. Now, it would have been better if I'd had an actual source. It sort of sounds like a bootleg that has been enhanced. But you know what? I always like bootlegs anyway, so fuck it. But now it does sound good compared. I've done all the things that I know now that I wanted to do back then, like even that UFOs you just heard. Those are the effects I wanted to do back then. I didn't know how to do them. I've learned over the past since 2000, late 2004, when I first started playing with multi-tracks. I mean, actual playing with multi-tracks that Go There and Ghost, and another one from 1994. The one, let's play the one from '94. It was on the remaster as well. It's even out there. You can find it on YouTube right now. But the remaster is coming out May 31st. I've already got it scheduled to release. I done all this within 2 weeks here. I took a little bit of break, and then I picked back up. I finished what I didn't do last night. Everything last night. I've been working on this for a couple of weeks now, a few weeks now, all through April. But anyway, here is the 1994 demo. Now, what I'm going to explain the process here. I did a vocal, and you could hear it. Boy, you could really hear it. I did a vocal and did some sort of like drum beats with a mouth. And then I took a radio and I just flipped it. I was using radio frequency. I felt a dead station. And I was using that radio frequency as my music. Here we go. It's called I Am Lightning. I actually made a song out of Go. It's a song too. Indeed, 2 songs come out of Go. That original 93 demo that I created, 2 songs come out of that. We're going to play some game too. But 2 songs came out of that. Actually, probably about 3, if I remember correctly. But anyway, I know Tell Me Why You Have to Go came out of that. And a song called The Angry Indian. But now here's this 94 demo, and if I've got the right quoter here, I'm not saying, oh, here I am. This was recorded in 1994, and I've done some really good effects to the new one. I went in there and was able to do some things to it that I wasn't able to do back then, because back then it was just, this was the sources I had, the karaoke and the microphone. And I recorded one half of it the other way, and then I used chords and left and right channels to mix it from the radio. So here we go.
the earth. I curse. It's not rehearsed. My hurt like the earth. My curse is not rehearsed. 'Cause I am lightning. 'Cause I am the 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 lightning. My curse is not rehearsed. My hurt is like the earth. My curse not rehearsed. My hurt not rehearsed. I am lightning. I am the lightning. I am the lightning. I am the lightning.
I'll tell you artists out there, if you got treasure troves of, say, you bands like Nirvana and Soundgarden and all these bands out here, if y'all really get together and go through your archives and you mix today's technology with what you can do, I was able to clean those things up. The originals are out there. Y'all can go find the originals. It's already out there on my box set. It was also on the remaster 2009 album that I done, but then I pulled it down, but then I put them back out on a box set. I was able to go in there and I took the technology and I split those things up and I remixed each and every one of the channels and cleaned them up. Something I had no ability to do in 1994 when I made those demos in 93. I have another one. I had 3 actual demos that I made songs off of. That was one of them. I made one called It's In the Black on the second album, which is also on the box set. Breaking the Insanity box. It was on it, but it's the Breaking Insanity box and all those, the albums alone were just all in one box set. It's them and the third album. All 3 of them are called Anthony Phillips Stone. It's got a little guy holding a globe. He's got a globe in his hand. That was supposed to symbolize, by the way, that's not God. You see, what I was doing was, I know all about the conspiracy theories and all that. That's a guy in a lab coat pretending he's God. And he thinks he's got the world in his hands. That's what that cover represents. As you know, it's got a 17 and a 76 hidden in the back in the picture. That's the answer to all that, by the way. But anyways, the guy in the lab coat, he thinks he's God. And then I put the symbol of the Masons in there. You can see that above the pyramid and all that in the album cover. But anyway, here's the last demo that I had from the 3 originals. I'm not sure if I ever made a song out of it. I may or may not have. But anyway, it was made October the 31st, 1993. I was able to split it up as well. It was kind of sloppier than the other 2. So even cleaned up, it didn't do quite as well, but I think it's better than what it was. Here it is. The reason that was so noisy, and I'm going to tell y'all why, in that old karaoke, if a microphone started dying, it started having those it hiss when a microphone was dying in that thing. The original karaoke I had. And so you can hear that hiss all the way through the recording. And I should have really when I was doing it, but here's the problem with this. Back then, I didn't have no computer. I couldn't go in there and like say if I wanted echo or reverb, I could not add the echo and reverb because I had to record it with it. If I wanted to have that sound, I couldn't go like today. Like today, I'll record my vocals clean, and if I want to reverb them, I go into the Audacity and I reverb them. But back then, I could not do that. I had to actually record it how it was going to sound, play it back in the tape. Sometimes I'd have to use two tapes as sources. One cord plugged one here and one plugged there. I was crazy. I did stuff like that. Those are my 3 actual demos long before I ever started writing lyrics. Indeed, I actually, like I said, the other one, the tell me, the one, wow, 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 I wrote 2 or 3 songs off it. Here is the Angry Indian. It was the first song I wrote off of it. And I wrote another song later on called Tell Me Why You Have to Go off it. And I think I might even wrote one more off of it. I'm not real sure about that, but I may have did. It's not coming to my memory if I did, but I know I did 2 off of that one demo. Here we go. Here's Angry Indian, the new version. Boy, I like the new version.
The boy comes home from school. He sees an angry Indian. It's white as a ghost, and he stares at the boy. The boy, he's frightened. He sees anger in the Indian's eyes, then disappears onto the sky. Returns in a dream and casts a rain cloud, and the boy sees in his dream the Indian drowns all of his enemies for taking his land, his people's land, for taking his land.
I'll tell you one thing, when Tom played that guitar, he did sort of good. Did you notice he played it close to the original demo? Wow, 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 wow. He added some of that to it.
Now the boy is 30 years old. He sees intruders in his land. They come from foreign lands, and now he understands. The angry Indian stands about his own land. The angry Indian stands about his own land.
When you're recording and you're remixing, you really need a copy of the vocal and the music to do it just right. That's something AI was able to provide me, something that I didn't archive back then. And just think about all these artists of all these recordings they got out here. Like, say, maybe it didn't work just how they wanted it to. They can go in now with the technology and pull them things out and polish them up. Now, me, I only had limited to work with because my sources weren't. Because, like I said, it was a 4-track tape recorder. I wanted it to be analog. I got back in 2004 when I started visioning putting my album out. I got hung up on it being analog. I mean, I'll tell you what was in my CD player back then. This is what I was listening to: Mudhoney, Nirvana, several other bands, a band called Flipper. I was listening to them. And I thought, well, I want my album to be grunge. I want it to be dirty. I want it to be gritty. And I went and I tracked me down a 4-track tape recorder. And I recorded that album, and then I mixed it back to my stereo and a CDR recorder. You know, the traditional old CDR recorder, Magnavox. And that's what I made my final mixes off of. But what I should have done, when I done that, I should have made an archive of the vocal and the music without being together. That way I could have later. But see, I didn't know all that stuff. I didn't even know how to do that back then. I was just starting. That was the beginning of my recording that I've done all these years. I know how to now mix. I know how to master to an extent. I let the AI master overall the final master because if it's up to me, I'm going to get some level wrong. But now, as far as mixing and stuff is concerned, I've pretty much figured that out. But back then, I didn't know any of that stuff. I was used to dealing with recording with 2 tracks. And then when I got the 4-track, I was up to 4 tracks, and now I can do it on the computer, and I can do as many tracks as I want now. I can do anything I want, so I split all those up, like even my old demos I recorded on just me, the karaoke, and my voice. And sometimes, not so intended, the train, I wasn't planning that train to come by when I was doing that first. I was outside at the pool. I got out of the pool. I was getting ready to go in. I was sitting there drying off. And I had this idea in my head of something. And I started doing this. And that train comes through. And it sort of added the percussion to that. And you can hear it. But I didn't even know for years. I thought I'd done that with my mouth. My brain had remembered doing it with my mouth. And I did go back and add some to it with the next track I done the rest of it with. But now the train added the most of the percussion. It's just like it was in sync. But now you could hear the lawnmowers and kids playing too in the background when I split that thing up. I had a neighbor. He was obsessed with mowing. This fucker, back when we was kids, he'd get out at 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning and start mowing. That's how this fucker was. And he happened to be mowing that day I was recording that. His lawnmower, he's long gone, but his lawnmower was visible in that recording when I split the tracks up and I could hear each and every track. I had to clean it up. But anyways, the percussion was the train, the main percussion of that. And I never did remember that part till I heard it split with my ears. Anyways, it's funny how that all turned out. That was my very first ever song I ever created. And like I said, I wrote 2 songs off that. This one hasn't been remastered, but I think I'll play it for you. That's the remastered version of Angry Indian. But now this isn't a master. It's off the original, Breaking the Insanity Box in 2008 and 9 when I released them. I believe it was 8 or 9. But anyway, here's the other song I wrote off that called Tell Me Why You Have to Go. I just got to find it. I got to go through my music folder here. I got the wrong music folder. That's the main music folder. Mine isn't in the main music. I've got it saved outside of it. Let's see if I can find that. It's music. Then I should be right there. Yeah, here I am. And this is from Breaking the Insanity Box. And it was called I'm in the Black was that other day. You want to know the song? Let's play it first, because it's up at the top here. It's about the third or fourth track. So we're going to play the song that was written off the 94 demo. Now this is the 94 demo, the one where I had the radio static and stuff in it. I actually used the radio as my main source of the music. And then I just added it. Now. And my hurt. I added all that to it. But here we go. This is the demo I wrote off it. Here we go. This isn't a remaster. It's the actual version.
Cause I feel the lightning, I feel the thunderstorms. Because I feel the lightning, I feel the thunderstorms. I feel the lightning, I feel the thunderstorms. I feel the lightning, I feel the thunderstorms. Don't you know it hurt me when I saw you with him? Now don't you know it hurts me when I saw you with him? Yeah, let me in the black. Yeah, I'm in the black. My heart is in the black. And I am on the bench of her. And I feel cursed. Because I feel the lightning. Yeah, I feel the lightning, I feel the thunderstorms. Yeah, I feel the lightning, I feel the thunderstorms. Yeah, I feel the lightning, I feel the thunderstorms. My heart is like the earth. My cuss is not rehearsed. Because I feel the lightning, I feel the thunderstorms. I feel the lightning, I feel the thunderstorms. I feel the lightning, I feel the thunderstorms.
I was actually already lyricing before I made that demo, of course. I didn't have lyrics for it specifically back then except for My Hurt Is Like the Earth. I hadn't come up with the Don't You Know It Hurt Me and all that. I come up with that later. And I was focusing in particular on my character Jeff then. Those are the feelings he was feeling when he lost one of his relationships. But anyways, I mixed the two. I took my character, put him into the song. But now this song, Tell Me Why You Had to Go, was sort of the lyric that I had in mind when I made now. But by then, at that time, at that summer '93, I wasn't writing lyrics then. I didn't start writing lyrics to March of '94. Those are my first batch of lyrics, which was I'm Really Missing You, Baby. My first song I actually wrote the lyrics. Tell Me Why You Had to Go was the brainchild of what I was thinking, and this is what I'm going to play next. Tell Me Why You Had to Go. Here we go. This was what I was thinking in my brain, went wow, 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 but I hadn't wrote it on paper yet.
Tell me why you have to go. You tell me why you want to go.
One of the last two songs I recorded on that 4-track, it burned out while I was recording the second album. This was one of them. There was several others. There's about 2 or 3. And then it died. I'm a fan of the analog sound.
Why do you always have to run your mouth to shut up? Don't you know? I get tired of you and your mouth.
You can hear my Kurt Cobain inspiration on that. Especially those gritty demos. I'm in love with the Nirvana gritty demos.
You're just a bitch. A witch. Yeah, a witch. That witch. That just left me. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Just like there's only one Axl Rose, there's only one Kurt Donald Cobain.
But boy, I love the gritty sound of his demos. That's what I was shooting for when I was recording my music back then. I'm not saying I done it. I'm just saying that's what I was shooting for. That right there, I told the guy when he was making that, I said, take my demo, give it a 60s flavor, and I gave him some ideas. Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix. I said, I want it to be sort of like the 60s. I want to make it grungy, but copy my wow, 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 and he sort of did it. He added all those things to it. He added the 60s to it. He added, and then I added the gritty grunge vocal to it. Now, I'm not saying I did it perfect, but I did it. I mean, I'm just telling y'all where my brain was focusing. back then when I was making music. When I wanted grunge, I was talking about demo grunge. I'm not talking about your polished albums. I'm talking about demo grunge. I wanted demo grunge, and that's what I was shooting for. People throw say, well, you don't sound that good stuff. But I wasn't trying to sound good. I was trying to sound like demos. I was always in love with the demos. I was in love with the sloppy Guns N' Roses demos. Some of their sloppy demos were some of my favorite songs. I was always in love with the demo. I used to search demo catalogs looking for them back in the day when you could do that thing. Now you can just go to the internet and try to find them. But back then you had to search for them. Since we're playing that, I think I'm gonna, before I go to this last game session here, I think I'm gonna get the alternative voter out because I got an alternative version of that. I don't even remember what the alternative version sounds like. Let's see if we can find it. I want to hear what the one I didn't take for the album sounds like. Here we go. This is the second one. I'm just curious what it sounded like. I hadn't heard it in a long time. I've heard the album version because you can hear those streaming online. Now this is the alternative version of the same song.
Tell me why you have to go.
More John Lennon-ish before I added the grunge. Because I was thinking about taking it John Lennon too, but then I decided to do the grunge version.
Don't you know I love you so? Baby, please don't ever go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Slam in at the door. She wins. Right now in the toys. I'm on let go. Much fun. I'm a saint. I don't like you, I just hate you, 'cause you're a weak bitch. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Why do you always have to run your mouth? Just shut up. Don't you know? I get tired of you and your mouth. 'Cause you're a weak. You're a witch. Yeah, you're a witch. Yeah, you're a witch. Yeah, just a witch. Yeah, oh, a witch. Yeah, a witch. That witch that does let me. Yeah, 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 yeah.
There's a reason that one sounds slightly better than the other one. That was recorded on my 8-track recorder that I replaced the 4-track. And the 8-track recorder was digital. That 8-track recorder wasn't even good as my current 8-track recorder. It was kind of primitive. I want to hear what the demo for Angry Indian. This was the 2005 demo for Angry Indian. I'm curious what it sounds like. The one where I did the lyrics. I hadn't heard that thing in a long time. I just now seen it in this folder. Let's hear what it sounds like. It's a mess. We're gonna listen to it.
Then the boy comes home from school and he sees a neighboring Indian. He's white as a ghost and he stares at the wall.
I need to split this one up and remix it. I'm going to. I could probably fix that. You can tell it was recorded on the karaoke because there's half tracks over there. I'll drop a remix version of that soon on Reverb Nation. Just watch for it.
And the Indian returns in a dream. Land he casts a rain cloud, and the boy sees in his dream he drowns all of his enemies for taking his land, his people's land.
I'm gonna look in this alternative folder and see what else is here. I think I got an alternative version of UFOs in the Sky. Let's hear it.
I saw lights bright in the sky. I saw lights brighter than the sun. I saw lights bright in the sky. I saw lights at night brighter than the sun. UFOs in the sky. UFOs in the sky. We're lighting up the night.
I may just play the whole entire alternative folder, because I haven't heard these in a long time. Oh, we done played them because it's just the original versions of those demos. But I do have a alternative mix that I made for the censored version CD of the Breaking Insanity box. I do have that. Here we go. Let me play it. It was an alternative, strange version of Mission to Mars that I stretched and done God knows what to the audio. Here it is. It's the deformed version of Mission to Mars. Like I said, it's deformed. I hadn't heard it in a really long time. Got all these people running their mouths about AI, but some of us people have been using it for a very long time. Think about Trent Reznor. He's been doing this digital thing for a long time. So have I. I've been doing it for at least since the early 2000s. Some of them are acting like it just came out. It's been around for a while. As far as I can tell, that can't even be done anymore because that was done with an Windows XP. But I don't hear anything like that on these newer Windows. This is like that. What I did was I took my Mission to Mars. I took my vocal and my music and I deformed them. And I made that mix of it. I think that's all of the alternatives. I see one here. Just to practice. It's called Stuck on Sunshine Hill. Let's play it because that's one of them I did last night that I remastered. From last night. I want to hear what the practice sounded like. This is when I was practicing the learning. With the music.
Tired of living in my house on Sunshine Hill. So I gotta get out of here. My house on Sunshine Hill. I know what I wanna do. I wanna go traveling west. But no, I can't afford to do this cause I'm stuck on Sunshine Hill. I'm stuck on Sunshine Hill. I'm stuck on Sunshine Hill. Let's stuck on Sunshine Hill. Maybe one of these days I can leave a Sunshine Hill, but for now it looks like I'm stuck on a Sunshine Hill. Stuck on Sunshine Hill. I'm stuck on
Just listen to the last Silverchair that year too. You can hear it here.
I'm stuck on Sunshine Hill. Stuck on Sunshine Hill. Stuck on Sunshine Hill. Stuck on Sunshine Hill. Lord, I'm stuck on Sunshine Hill. Maybe one of these days I'll leave a Sunshine Hill, but for now it looks like I'm stuck on a Sunshine Hill. Stuck on Sunshine Hill. I'm stuck on Sunshine Hill.
gonna get out of here, 'cause I'm stuck on Sunshine Hill. Oh Lord, I'm never gonna get out of here. Oh Lord, I'm never gonna get out of here. Lord, when am I gonna get out of here?
There's some Red Hot Chili Peppers there at the very end of it. That wasn't the actual version, though. That was just a practice. That's when I was learning to sing it with the lyrics and the music that he created for me back then. Now, here's the real version, but I'm going to play the new version. I've got the album version here, but I've got the new one that I recorded the new mix I made last night after breaking the tracks down. We'll play it. I didn't actually end up doing it sort of like the Silverchair in the end. I ended up doing it its own way. But this is the finished one. It is coming out May 31st. Let's find it. Here it is. Now shut up.
I'm tired of living in my household sunshine hill. I said I gotta get out of here. My household sunshine hill. I know what I wanna do. Wanna go travel west. But no, I can't afford to do this, 'cause I'm stuck on Sunshine Hill. 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 Yeah, one of these days I get Sunshine Hill. But for now it looks like I'm stuck on Sunshine. I'm tired of living in my house on Sunshine Hill. I said I gotta get out of here. My house on Sunshine Hill. I do what I wanna do. Wanna go traveling west. But no, I can't afford to do this, 'cause I'm stuck on Sunshine Hill. 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 Yeah. I'm one of these days I get Sunshine Hill. But for now it looks like I'm stuck on Sunshine Hill. Mama, yeah. Oh Lord, yeah. Mama,
That lyric was one of the original 93 and 94 lyrics in that set from 94. 94 it was 94. I'm still on Sunshine Hill 30 years later. I'm stuck on Sunshine Hill 30 years later, stuck on Sunshine Hill. Oh, here's the one that I was very, very sick when I recorded. But I've cleaned it up as best as I could, and I think I've sort of got the vocal better now. It's called Never Piss Her Off. I was deathly sick with the flu. I was holding to the wall. I could actually hear my coughs and sneezes and my choking when I broke the vocal down. I could actually hear it in it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. yeah. And now 17 was angry when she first heard their song. That night they called a holler, so she walked up to him, slapped his face, told him off. She said that day you called me a forgotten name. Now Jeffrey just stood there staring as she could pay. She said, I'll get even with you. I tell the truth. I tell the truth about us. So she got a computer and wrote a book how she lived in a lover's fantasy. Then came along. She wrote, it might have been happy. Yeah, she wrote, it might have been wrong. But I got so tired of being alone there, right at home. That hurt put me Jeff angry, but there was nothing he could do. Cause he started this mess when he chose to write that song. She said, Jeffrey never loved me, he didn't care. So now I moved on. You can have a damn guy, girl. He found out there was one time blind. Yeah, he found out and she got her revenge. Yeah, he found out there was one time blind. Yeah, he found out and she got her revenge. Yeah, he found out there was one time blind. Yeah, he found out and she got her revenge. And she got a computer and wrote a book how she lived in a lover's fantasy. Then the day came along. She wrote, it might have been tacky. Yeah, she wrote, it might have been wrong. But I got so tired of being alone there, right at home.
Let me do a comparison. While we're listening live, when this gets done, I'm going to play the original. See which sounds better, this one or that one.
Yeah, she's tough. She got her revenge. It never pissed her off. Sure enough. Yeah, she's tough. She got her revenge. You never piss her off. Sure enough, yeah, she's off. She got her revenge. You never piss her off. Sure enough,
The only difference with the new one and the old one is I was able to take the vocal, clean it up like I clean them up today. Then I added some reverbs to them. That's the only difference. So we're gonna play the old one next. I want to hear which sounds better because I did try to strengthen that weak vocal. That vocal was weak because I was sick when I recorded. So I want to hear if the improvement was an improvement or not an improvement. That's what I'm wanting to do right now.
Yeah. But now 17 was angry when she first heard their song. That night they called a holler, so she walked up to him, slapped his face, told him off. She said that day you called me a forgotten name. Now Jeffrey just stood there staring as she could pay. She said, I'll get even with you. I tell the truth. Tell the truth about us. So she got a computer and wrote a book how she lived in a love that never still stands.
It's definitely got more strength. That voice is kind of whimpery, but I was sick when it was recorded. And I didn't know all the technological things I know now. And I'm talking about the mixing styles. I didn't know how to do all that punching up the vocals, strengthening them, etc. That's actually a raw vocal just mixed to CDR.
He found out there was one time blind. Yeah, he found out and she got her revenge. Yeah, he found out there was one time blind. Yeah, he found out and she got her revenge. Yeah, he found out there was one time blind. Yeah, he found out and she got her revenge. And she got a computer and a roll-up book. How she lived in a loveless marriage till then. The kid came along. She wrote, it might have been tacky. Yeah, she wrote, it might have been wrong. But I got so tired of being alone there right at home. She's tough. She got her revenge. It never pissed her off. Sure enough. Yeah, she's tough. She got her revenge. You never piss her off. Sure enough.
That one's amazing. Usually everybody hates her.
Yeah.
The part one of that song, this is the new version.
Debbie had him blind. But that blind ran off with a gun, says man. Now Debbie's hurt, feeling angry. He's hurt, feeling angry. He's hurt, feeling angry. So Deb had him a son. That's the girl who broke his heart. And he told in a song what a honest she was. Now Debbie's got him a new girl, but this time he said I got him a blonde. Well, Debbie's got himself a new girl. Got him a new girl, got him a new girl. He got himself a guy's girl. He's got himself a guy's girl. He's got himself a guy's girl. He's got himself a guy's girl. Guy's girl. Guy's girl. He got himself a new girl. He got himself a guy's girl. He got himself a new girl. He got himself a guy's girl. He got himself a guy, girl. He got himself a guy, girl.
Out of all my remakes, the one I like the best is I'm Really Missing You, Baby. It was the first one I actually redid because I decided I'm going to do the whole album to see what it sounds like.
I'm really missing you, baby. I'm really missing you now. If I can't have you, baby, I don't wanna be around. I said I'm really missing you, baby. I'm really missing you now. If I can't have you, baby, I don't wanna be alive. Like time that you didn't matter to me. Like thought that you were like all the best. But now that you're gone, I see I don't wanna be alive. I'm really missing you. Missing you, baby. I'm really missing you.
First song I ever wrote, you can sort of tell the same line over and over again.
Missing you, baby.
And that's March either 14, 15, or 1694
Missing you, baby.
when I wrote those lyrics.
Missing you now. I'm really missing you, baby. I'm really missing you now. Oh, well, if I can't have you, baby, I don't wanna be around. I said I'm really missing you, baby. I'm really missing you now. Oh, well, if I can't have you, baby, I don't wanna be alive. I'm really missing you. I know I'm missing you. I'm really missing you. Missing you, baby. I'm really missing you. I'm missing you, baby. I'm really missing you. I'm missing you, darling.
You got room, you're clear there. Great finish. The top 10. That's why we count it.
Number 6. Boom, boom, boom. Number 6. It ain't number 1, but it's number 6. I'll settle it because I've been in the lows there for a long time. That song is, it started out as a conga song. The guy that first wrote it helped me write it. He gave it a conga beat that I told Tom when I was working with him on the album. I told him, what I want you to do is I want you to take 90s grunge, mix it with Sonic Youth, that Goo album, whatever it was called, the album with the sunglasses on it. I wanted him to mix it with that sound, and that's what he created for me. I like that though, and I I added some things to it with that new one when I was able to break the music and the vocals down. I added some kind of punch to the music. Boom, 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 boom. I didn't know how to do it back then. I added a punch to it. When I cleaned it up and put it in there and split it up and cleaned up the tracks. So I like that punch I added to it. It's not, that punch ain't originally there. I brought that out to it. So that's one. It was the first one I actually did. This is the one I'm really unhappy with, because it was the first song I recorded. Off the first, it was the first song I recorded, and I was always unhappy with it. I've got some new versions of it back when I dropped the record for the I Don't Want You Anymore and UFOs in the Sky. Oh, by the way, that other guy that I was working with, I'm kid you not, this crazy old man. He was an old man. He was old. He was probably in his 80s when I was dealing with him. When I sent him, he would help me, like, put them on paper and stuff. Like, that's what his goal was. He'd put them on paper for you and help you out that way. He wrote me back. I sent him UFOs in the Sky. Of course, you know that demo is kind of rough. When you hear that version, let's pull it up. I played it here before. He told me that won't never be profitable. Well, look now, all this UFO talk and stuff. He told me UFOs would never be profitable. That was in the 90s, I kid you not. When I first started having my music, late 90s, I started working with people and having them printed and put them on paper. You know, actual music sheets. He wrote me back, he sent that song back, he said, "Son, I don't want to hurt your feelings, this song won't never go anywhere." And he refused to even put it on paper. Well, I said at the time, and I told him, I want you to make it sort of grungy. He told me, that I said, the old guy told me this would never be a song, and he wrote me back and said, "What? UFOs are the thing?" And then he said they was already starting to be the thing back then. That's what he told me. He said, I mean, it really dates back, this is what he said, it really dates back to Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So he said, I don't know where this old guy got off telling you it wasn't commercial, but he sent me back that version down off my demo. You know my crazy demo. It was kind of grungious, and I tore my vocal out with that. I never got my vocal back. I'm still suffering from this day from doing that. Let me find it. I played it many a times. If it's here. I may not have it in the folder. Oh yeah, I do have it. It's just in the other music part. Let me go to the other music part. I will play it because it's really grungy. I was playing it with a keyboard and I was swinging that keyboard. You can actually hear the keyboard swinging it. Just a swinging. It was swinging from the chandeliers. I was doing a keyboard like grunge artists do guitars. You know, like Nirvana used to swing the Kurt Cobain used to swing the guitar around. Well, I was swinging that keyboard around. I hate I broke my keyboard. I had it standing up. We was getting ready to go to Florida. And I just got through recording a song with it right before we left. And I left it standing by the door. And as I was going out the door, I hit my suitcase into it, my bag. And I kid you not, it hit the bedpost and it shattered 3 of the keys. These new keyboards ain't like the 80s ones. So I tried to fix it, and some old guy told me, "Are you kidding me?" He was really smart ass. He said, "You're talking about a keyboard from the late 80s. The highest keys I got to replace them with are 92. He told me that. He got smart. Like I was going to know what kind of keys he had. I just right and asked him. I love these smart asses. You can't ask them no fucking questions. I read it. That was the whole question. I said, I'm reading, but do you know if you could look for any? And he was just a smart ass about it. He was a fucking jackass. He was a literally fucking jackass. You know, you can replace the keys. I wished I had a 3D printer. I'd draw the keys and try to print me off a 3D. And even if they just broke all the time, just put them back on when they break. I'm not going to throw it away, though, because them old keyboards, I like the old ones better than the new ones. These new ones are pretty much, most of them I bought are junk. Now I haven't bought me a Yamaha, so I may get me a Yamaha. Yamaha was what I had in the beginning. Let's see if I can find it. If I can find it, I'm gonna play that thing for you. He told me that ain't commercial. He was an old man, of course. He was an old dude. I was thinking, yeah, old man, you're stuck in the past, buddy. Anyway, UFOs are the thing now. I may not have it on this computer. Oh, okay. Let's see if I got it here. No, those are my singles. Is that it? No, that was the alternate version I played for y'all just a while ago. Actually, it's not here. I don't know what happened to it. That's it. Let's see if that's it. Oh yeah, I know where it's at. I'm looking in the wrong folder. Broke one of my karaoke's open and redid it. That was amazing to hear it broken up because it was recorded together. Yeah, that was actually amazing to hear it. They may mute it, but I'll put it out. I'll put it out on a video. Here it is. This is the karaoke that I did. It's a Pearl Jam song.
2, 3, 4.
I actually split it up.
I'm going out with radio. I'm going out with disco. I'm going out with bacchanal. Nabi. I'm going out with telephone. I'm going out alone.
That karaoke's from 1997.
It's all just inadvertent imitation, and I don't mean mine. It's all across this nation. If it's just inadvertent simulation, I'm better than Bob and kind. What's got the whole world vacant? Yeah. Using my Listerine and like Ovaltine, and you'll be dipping in your battle cell, looking for the latest tale, for the latest deal. It's all just inadvertent imitation, and I don't mean mine. It's all across this nation. If it's just inadvertent simulation, I'm better than Bob and Cat. What's got the whole world vacant? Yeah. golden imitation, a better mom and dad. What's got the whole world begging? Yeah. 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 Just imitation. What's got the whole world baking it? What's got the whole world baking?
I always loved that one. I didn't end up taking it for that recording, by the way, but I ended up keeping the recording. And then when I was splitting up all those tracks, I thought, well, I wonder what it'd sound like split up. Well, you could hear all the noises, you could hear the cracks of cheer. I had this old crackety chair my mama had got from a school. It's like one of them old 50s chairs. That thing cracked and popped every time I moved it, and you could hear the cracking, popping chair. What's got the whole world faking it? Yeah, yeah. What album was that off of? Was it the one with the yield sign or another one? It was the one before it. Let's see, what? Oh yeah, it was the one, what's that called? Oh, it's got something's mosquito on it. It's from that album. It's got a bunch of little pictures on it or something. If it's just in but a simulation, a pattern of no mankind, what's got the whole world breaking it? What's got the whole world? I always loved that one. Down, 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 down. You'll be going out with radio. Going out with disco, going out with bacchanal, I be going out alone to the radar zone. I don't want to qualify. Oh yeah, I want to qualify. Fast to qualify. What's got the whole world faking it? What's got the whole world faking it? Yeah, yeah. If it's just another simulation, pattern of all mankind. I got it in my head. You'll be playing with my magazine, using up my listening like Ovaltine. Bum 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 number 11. Bum 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 number 11. Bum 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 number 11. Bum 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 number 11. I got it in my head.
All right, now, be smart out there. Going green. Almost ready now. Green, green, green.
I just laugh though when people tells me I don't sing good. I've never intended to sing good. I wanted to be grungy as hell. I've always wanted to be grungy. And some of them grunge people, they could sing. But I always like the rough demos. If you know what I'm a fan of, you're being an idiot when you say something to me about that. Because that's what I was a fan of. I was a fan of the grunge. That's why when I put myself out there, I identified with grunge, even though I was more metal. I was more of a fan of metal than I was grunge. I just like the sloppier side of life. The grungier the better. You can give me some of them old grungy tapes where Kurt Cobain, he don't sound that good. That's what I'm a fan of. Just, I guess it just depends on one man's trousers and another man's junk. Sometimes I intentionally sound worse than I should. I will make things sound worse than they have to be at times, because I want it to be grungy. That's what I'm wanting to create. So when you're saying that to me, you're barking up a wrong tree.
All clear.
Because you're basically, you don't realize that's what I'm wanting to create. I'm basically capable of creating more than I do.
You did it.
It all depends on what you want to create. That's what I want to create. Bam, 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 bam. I was a fan of the bootleg tapes. And so even though my stuff isn't bootlegs, I'm creating bootlegs. But those were demos. Those wasn't intended for others' ears. They were just writing their songs. And see, I was a fan of that. So even though, yeah, I'm writing songs, that's what I'm wanting to create. You see, there's a difference. And I don't know how many other people out there there's a market for out there. They may not be. They may or may not be. But I'm that way. I sending you an apology. Oh, did I send it? I sent him an apology. Dang it. It's an accident. I hit the wrong button. Okay. Well, she apologized for once. I try to make her like, what would I do? You know what I'd do if somebody was rude to me? I'd say, fuck you. I'd be like the rock and roller. I'd say, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. You dirty little animal. And I'll probably come up with an insult back. Sometimes them vocals are really messy when that thing would get them. Yeah, I didn't know anything about strengthening vocals and all that back when I'm working on a computer when I was recording back then. It was all done on the 4-track recorder and the CDR. I made a mix done on the CDR. And then I put it on the computer only to send it to the guys that would master it in the old days. And about my second and third album, I started fooling with the computer. The third one in particular. The third one, that's when I first started actually learning how to do that stuff. And now I just completely fake it backing vocals. I'm lazy as hell, y'all. Y'all know what I do for a backing vocal? I take my main vocal and deform it and do things to it. I'm lazy. Back in the old days, I actually recorded my backing vocals. I'm lazy today. Usually I got one vocal for everything. Unless it's a part I had to sing out. And I had to sing it out. I clip and paste and do it digitally. If it's just in a button. Like that original album and stuff, I was actually doing my backing vocal then. The third one, I sort of slacked off on that.
Let's see where that puts you.
Now, I think I did do a little bit of it on this one because I said I was going to. I wanted to go back to the roots of the first Tales of Hurt and the Paranormal, and I didn't completely do it like I wanted to do it. Because on some of the songs I got lazy and cheated. But now, AI Girl is one of them I actually used it, where I did the backing vocals and then I did do some of the digital on it, but not completely.
Green flag.
AI Girl.
You got room. You're clear. Top 3 using if you need it. Outside. Clear high, bud.
And then I did do the backing vocals on the one about the Scarecrow. That was the oldest song. By the way, that was supposed to be the title track of Tales of Hurt and Paranormal. That's why I called it Tales 2. Because I didn't finish that song. I'd spent months on it. We got down to April, May 2006, and I think, fuck it. I'm not going to do that last song. And I'll just retitle the album. And I held that song off, and I've been playing with it for years. Like, I'd get it out even when I was recording all the other albums. It still didn't turn out how I wanted it. But I decided this time just to take it. I thought, God, it's old enough. There's no sense in sitting on the shelf any longer. So I went ahead and just put it out. And I kind of just discovered, I kind of just started working on this one by mistake. I remembered those programs out there where there's a multitude of them. It's all kinds of where they get acapellas of their favorite songs or what. I thought, well, what if I did that? And I tried it last time a year ago, and it didn't know how to split my, AI's learned a lot. It didn't know how to split my vocals up back then. Now it knows how to fucking split them up. That's something that they couldn't even do in the beginning. I was so fucking unprofessional and did things my own way. The AI had to figure me out. But this year I was able to do it. I always regretted not making an archive of my vocals and music back then. Because I wanted to make a remix with the skills that I'd learned in 2009. I wasn't able to do it, so what I did was I just made a few adjustments, and I wasn't happy with those adjustments. I'm not saying I'm 100% happy with what I did with this one, because I'll probably be a whole lot better in the future. But I'm going to have to draw the line and say it's good and just move on. 5 seasons. But we're going to quit on the season today, so we will start on that later. Yeah, I think I'll get off for today. Joe went out to war. He never came back home. Before he left, he built a farmhouse. That's one of my oldest songs for this album, for that album. It was supposed to be on that album. I just said I got tired of, because I was doing that track by track. And I started on it on December of 2004. So y'all see, I spent a whole year. It was supposed to originally have 10 tracks and it ended up being 9 tracks because I got down to June of the next year. And I thought, well, I ain't gonna ever get this thing out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drop the songs I've got. So it became a 9-song album. And I left that song off. I believe some fucker's hitting the damn pipe around here as I think I'm smelling it. I love these idiots. They think they ought to do it in their damn houses. And everybody else don't want to smell their fucking shit. They're lucky I'm not the police. I'd let them spend a night in jail. I don't want to